bub, don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
Welcome back to the X-Centric Collector channel. I'm Talent the X-Centric Collector, and today we're going to be covering Banshee from the mini comic book wave. Let's get into it.
Cerebro Online.
Cerebro, pull up file Banshee Mini Comic Wave 2025.
Accessing file. Banshee Mini Comic Wave 2025. Retail price $24.99. Accessories: 3 alternate hands, alternate head, mini comic.
This has been a long-awaited version of Banshee for many collectors. The last time they released this version of Banshee in the green and yellow was way back in 2006, and that figure is arguably one of the worst Marvel Legends ever made. So this is a much welcomed update. He came in the mini comic wave with a bunch of random Marvel characters. This figure includes 3 alternate hands, an alternate head, and a mini comic of giant size X-Men #1. The packaging is similar to the retro carded figures, but the design is unique to this wave. I really like how the front of the box resembles a comic book cover. On the back of the box, we see the rest of the figures in the wave, and there's a blurb that reads, "In giant size X-Men #1, Banshee agrees to help Professor Charles Xavier rescue the X-Men, alongside a new team of mutant heroes." And with that, let's take a look at Banshee out of the package.
And here we are, with the absolute luck of the Irish, that we got this Banshee, the giant-sized X-Men Banshee, out of the package. And look how beautiful he is. I have a problem with this one in particular because we have a paint defect here on the side rim. Now, I know for a fact, because I have 2 of these, that it was not like that on the other one. The other Banshee that I still haven't packaged does not have that defect, so it's not like everyone's got it, and it's fine. You know, not everything's gonna be perfect, and that's fine. But this is a direct repaint of the Strike Force Banshee, which I have right here. That is the same Banshee, just painted in his blue and golds. But we've been waiting for this for so long. Why were people waiting for this for so long? Well, as I've stated before in the unboxing video even, and in the video of why I quit collecting Marvel Legends, when Hasbro got the license, I think it was the first wave back in 2006 if I'm correct, they came up with this. This was the Banshee they gave us versus what we got now. Come on. You see why I quit collecting? Because they gave us this versus this. But he did come with the additional screaming head, and if I decide to use this Banshee and then screaming, I will use this head. He came, besides the fisted hands for the body that we have here, he came with 3 additional hands. And why, I don't know, because now I'm not complaining, more hands are more hands, but we've got like a grabbing hand. Okay, cool. Slightly open. But then he's got what looks like a trigger, or trigger finger hand, or holding a weapon. I can't remember Banshee ever needing a hand like that, but alright. And then definitely, no, that's the trigger finger hand. Does Banshee use guns? Does Banshee use a gun? Let me know. Why would he need this hand? Either way, it's another X-Men hand. If you're collecting those Strike Force figures, now you've got a yellow glove that can hold a gun and look proper, because that's crazy. And then for this whole wave, they had this gimmick of the mini comics. And here we go. He came with the giant size X-Men #1 mini comic. This is like my grail comic book. And I finally have it, but it's absolutely tiny. I get it that in this wave, maybe that's why they gave him this hand, isn't it? So he can hold the comic book. It's exactly what it was. Bang. Look at this, people. He can hold his own comic. That's why they gave him that hand. Either way, a lot of people were saying they're not really into this gimmick with the tiny little comic books, even though they do look great. But what are you going to do with it? I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I'm going to make some sort of display where there's like comic books on a shelf or something, and it'll be in there. But yeah, I mean, I'd much rather have a Build-A-Figure piece, but it also kind of benefits me to not have it be a Build-A-Figure thing, because I was only getting 2 figures out of this wave anyway. You got the sweet mini comic, 3 extra hands, and 2 heads. But let's take a look at the articulation on this guy. So just like the Strike Force Banshee, he is entirely pinless. Look, there are no pins on me. Looks great. Straight up repaint, but again, you know, we're dealing with 2024 plus here. He's got amazing articulation. The head goes up. Oh, you can pop it all the way off. And if you see the ball joint here, that's probably a better way to show this, but like, you can get that much movement with that ball joint. But when you plug the head on, you're dealing with the hair and then the collar. That's about where you can go. Down, way down. That's good. And then the ab crunch. Forward, back. Look up. Scream up. You know what? Let's plug that other head on, because that's more fun. You're gonna be looking up like that. You gotta be looking up. Ah, yeah. There you go. He's got butterfly joints, so you can get those arms way back on this. Look at that. There's some serious movement on those butterfly joints. Of course, double pinless elbows, double pinless knees. Are we going to be stiff on this? Let's find out. Nope. He goes right back up. Look at that. It's kind of hard to see there. That cape. Speaking of that cape, this material is a plastic clothy mix. It's not cloth goods, but it's not plastic like, you know, for example, the Age of Apocalypse Gambit cloak that's very stiff. This is very flexible. So, it's not cloth, but it works, man. This is good. He's got a waist swivel. You can see here. You can see the cut. Not great, but you know, it's movement. Then down to the legs, we have the upper thigh cut. Then we have the boot swivel. Very nice. We have a pretty awesome range of movement on the ankles, and of course an ankle rocker. This is what you'd come to expect in a figure coming out in 2025, that it has all of the articulation that you would want in a figure that comes out in 2025. He absolutely fits the bill, and he will serve as an absolute fantastic addition for the giant size X-Men display. It's awesome. Yes, it's just a repaint, but It's a welcome repaint, in my opinion. So very excited for this. You know, we all know Sean Cassidy is a founding member of the new team of X-Men, as well as the head master, or co-head master of Generation X. But let's dig a little more into the history of Sean Cassidy, aka Banshee.
Banshee, first appearance, the X-Men number 28, 1967, created by Roy Thomas, writer, Werner Roth, artist.
Banshee first appeared in the X-Men number 28 in 1967. Sean Cassidy comes from an ancient Irish lineage that predates historical records. He's a former Interpol agent and NYPD officer. After the tragic death of his wife, Sean turned to crime and got involved with the villainous organization Factor 3. This path led him to encounter the mutant superhero team known as the X-Men, and with their help, he returned to the right side of the law. Years later, he became the partner of Dr. Moira McTaggart and reconnected with his lost daughter, Siren. Many years later, he would become a co-headmaster and mentor for the new generation of X-Men known as Generation X. Banshee possesses the mutant ability to generate sonic screams capable of punching through inch-thick steel and granting him the ability to fly and much more. With that, let's check out his powers and abilities.
Powers and abilities, sound generation, sonic scream, flight, sonar, sonic shield, vocal disorientation, vocal trance, vocal unconsciousness, sound immunity, superhuman vocal stamina, superhuman hearing, family power immunity.
Banshee's main power is sound generation. This allows him to create powerful sonic waves with his voice, with which he could achieve various effects, often with the assistance of psionic abilities, which function only in unison with his sonic abilities. Let's break this down a bit. Firstly is the sonic scream. This has the ability to shatter solid objects with an incredibly loud and destructive scream. Next up is sonic flight. He has the ability to fly at subsonic speeds by using his voice to propel him through the air and ride the sound waves using a specialized set of wings that Professor X made for him. Next we have sonar. He can use his psionic powers as a form of sonar or sound navigation and ranging. By sending out a precise, pure note and listening to the returning altered waveform of the note, he can evaluate his surroundings in total darkness with varying degrees of resolution. Next is his sonic shield. He can tighten sound waves around himself or others near him, making a barrier against an outside attack. Then we have vocal disorientation. He has the ability to change someone's balance by affecting their equilibrium using his sonic scream. Next is vocal trance. He has the ability to subtly influence people's subconscious minds by changing the tones and vibrations of his voice using hypersonic suggestion. Next is vocal unconsciousness. He has the ability to affect the fluid in someone's ear, causing the person to go unconscious. Next we have sound immunity. Banshee's hearing and equilibrium were unaffected by his hypersonic abilities or other similar sound and sonic-based abilities. Next is superhuman vocal stamina. He possesses superhuman stamina in his lungs, throat, and vocal cords. He would be kind of worthless if he didn't have that ability. He'd scream once and lose his voice, and that's not gonna work. So he has superhuman vocal stamina. Next, we have superhuman hearing. Banshee could use selective hearing to filter out voices and hear what people would say from across distances. He claimed to hear specific frequencies, like the clanging of good crystal glass through a building. And finally, we have family power immunity. This often occurs in mutants who are related. Their powers don't often work against each other. And in this case, Banshee is immune to Black Tom Cassidy's energy blasts. On top of all these abilities given to him through his sound generation powers, he is also a gifted detective and seasoned undercover operative, as well as a very skilled unarmed combatant. He is well versed in combat strategy and tactics. He is also an excellent marksman and amateur machine smith, as well as an educator, organizer, and lobbyist. Let's take a closer look at how these powers rank on the grid. Cerebro, please pull up the power grid.
Accessing power grid. Analyzing subject.
You can find these grids on marvel.fandom.com as well as on the backs of various Marvel trading cards. Our first category, as always, is strength. He's at a 2, normal human strength. There's nothing in Banshee's power set that makes him any stronger than your average individual. Our next category is intelligence. He's at a 3, above average. He possesses a higher IQ than an average person. This makes sense to me, after all, he became co-headmaster of Xavier's Institute for Generation X. Not to mention, he's basically a master detective, so Banshee has a higher IQ than most. Moving on to speed, he's at a 4. He's capable of reaching subsonic speeds ranging from 250 to 500 miles per hour. His sonic scream allows him to glide on the sound waves he generates in conjunction with his wing harness that Xavier made for him. However, those great speeds are limited to when he's in flight. Next category is fighting ability. He's at another 4, world heavyweight champ level. Like many Irishmen before him, Banshee can throw hands. It also helps that he's had training from Interpol as well as the NYPD. But even more so, spending so many years on the X-Men, training in the danger room, Banshee knows how to fight. Even without his powers, Sean Cassidy is a man you might not want to throw down with. Our next category is durability. He's at a 3. He has above average durability, and this is due to his sonic shield, which, as we discussed, are sound waves that are tightened around himself and can be extended to others, making a barrier that defend against outside attacks. So although he might not be bulletproof, his sonic shield adds an extra level of durability to this Irish mutant. Moving on to agility, he's at a 3. He has above average agility. Again, this is most likely related to many years of training. While not quite reaching peak human levels, he can give Olympic athletes a run for their money. And now for our final category, energy blast. This is where Sean really shines. He's at a 5. Fission. His sonic screams are capable of shattering solid objects with an incredibly loud and destructive sonic scream. The impact of these screams is more destructive than a missile. It's more in the realm at its maximum levels, equivalent to a small atomic bomb. These screams can also range all the way from a quiet whistle that can shatter a lock on a door, or a scream that can blow the side off a mountain. Looking at his overall stats, Banshee is an above average mutant in every category with the exception of strength. With his intelligence, durability, and agility all at a 3, and his speed and fighting ability at a 4, and then add to that his immense energy projection at a 5, Banshee is an incredibly powerful mutant, and a fine addition to any team that he is on. Capable of leading his own team or being a team player on any X-Men team, I would most likely have him on a team that is going to be going into a massive combat situation. Although he can keep his mouth shut and go on covert missions, it kind of defeats the purpose when using his power. So I'd rather have him in a situation where he can unleash the sonic scream. Not to mention, having another mutant in the sky is always an advantage in battle, as well as the fact that he can provide a sonic shield to teammates in need. I feel like Banshee is a highly underrated X-Men, but occasionally he does get his due. We did get to see him return in X-Men 97 briefly in episode 5, and it was awesome to see him again. I don't think we ever got clarification what happened to him after Genosha was destroyed, but I would love to see him again in season 2 as a group of X-Men that Bishop and Forge put together. Speaking of X-Men 97, Cerebro, let him know.
Be sure to check out X-Men 97 Reactions with Talent. Don't forget to subscribe.
Definitely do go check out my X-Men 97 reactions, as well as my other reactions. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. You gotta be a subscriber and leave comments to be eligible for any of our channel giveaways, and I greatly appreciate every one of you that's supporting the channel. That's all for this one. I'm Talent the Eccentric Collector, reminding you, keep collecting. And until next time, Excelsior!